Good evening there, everyone. Welcome here to On the Pole as we get set to rock and roll here tonight. Qualifying getting underway here as we're watching Rooster Roden here in that 01. There's Jack Stanley in the number 95. We're racing here at Martinsville here tonight. Trying a new feature also down there in the bottom right-hand corner, if you can see it. I don't know how well you can. There's a little jar down there to the right side. That is our tip jar. You can go and add to it down there in the description. Tips are much appreciated, and it helps us get cameras and everything to help the viewership look better. Points here going into tonight. Here we go. Merrick Watchhorn, Benjamin Bushnell, Maurice Gamillion, Kendorian Davis, Justin Roden, and Brennan Gregg are your top 6 drivers looking to move on. But we're going to be watching that battle there between that 5th and 6th spot, or the 6th and 7th spot there in the points between Brennan Gregg and Jack Stanley, as they're tied for that cutoff point. Stanley right now qualifying in 5th position right now. Brennan Gregg ends up into the outside wall here. We got here about another a little under 3 minutes. Here in qualifying. Nobody out on track. Well, Victorian Davis should be. Why is he not shown? There he is. Okay. And at number 5, Exalta. Greg right now sitting third with a 19.71. Stanley with a 20.05. Bushnell back here in 9th. Three drivers have not qualified yet. Well, that should be wrong. That should be... Wait a moment, let me get this fixed here. Cyber Cake 150. No. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay on the mic. Please let us know in the comments if you are having trouble hearing us. We've been struggling having a gremlin that we've been chasing around here at FFTv. All right, here we go. Everybody's getting gridded up. So tonight's grid gonna look like this. Still have no clue why that's splitting off like that when they should be together. Not exactly sure. Merrick Watchorn out there in front. Condorian Davis, they're second. Brennan Gregg, they're third. Rooster Roden, they're fourth. Maurice Chameleon, they're fifth. Jack Stanley, sixth. Gary Wells, they're in seventh. Chad Tabala, they're in eighth. Ben Bushnell, ninth. Tyler Fair, they're in 10th. James Wertzman, 11th. And you got RJ Buchanan there in 12th. You know what? I think I might have a thought process on that whole thing. So that is your starting grid here tonight. If I can get this to cooperate with me. So I can get this to come up the way I want it to. This here. Nope, that didn't change nothing. Okay. Green flag is out. Here we go. Down here through the start-finish line. Down here in the corner number one. Everybody's getting through there okay. Hold on. There goes Jack Stanley way up there against the outside wall. 3 wide there for a moment. We got the 8 there of Chad Tubala in the middle. Trying to work his way up there. The 95 there. Jack Stanley drops on back. Up there in the front, there they go. Everything's looking good so far. Everybody just hanging out there. Side by side, you see that 87 of Gary Wells working there on the inside. Now on the inside of Condorian Davis as he heads on through. Down here in the corner number one as they go around here. Hang on to it. There they go, back out onto that backstretch. 150 laps the distance here at Martinsville. Any driver try to hang on to it. And I always said, if you're watching, we're trying something here at FFTv on the pole and other nights. We got a tip jar down there in the right-hand corner. And we'd really appreciate any little bit that you'd send our way to help us keep things updated and rolling here at FFTv. As I am on a tight fixed income budget. Like, subscribe, let others know that we're here bringing you racing action as we come down through the back stretch here at Martinsville, down through turn 3 and 4. Onto the front stretch, Jack Stanley has crashed at number 95, bringing out our first caution of the night. I see him up there against that outside wall. Trying to dive it in here and loose it there on the concrete. Backs it up against the outside wall. Keeps it parked there for just a moment. Make sure nobody else is coming. Brings it back around and gets it rolling. Caution number 1 here at Martinsville. Be sure to check the description out as well in all our videos, just in case there's information there you might want to look into. Single file right now, going around here through the corner. Stanley needed to have a good race tonight in order to keep ahead there, or try to get ahead there, as he's tied there for a 6 in the points. With, let's bring them points back up here. Stanley's tied with Greg. Greg's sitting in second, so Greg having a great night here. Merrick Watchorn's out front. Brennan Gregg there in second. Maurice Chameleon there third. Coyote and Roadrunner. Oh, I really like that 44 paint scheme there with the little bits of the Roadrunner and that on it. Kind of cool seeing the Looney Tunes on that machine. Lights are out, side by side, back down here across the back stretch. Brad will pull that pace car off, coming here into turn number 4, or turn number 3 rather. Now working here off of 4. They're going to be back. Green flag racing. As you see, that green flag is out. Down and away. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. As they hang on to it. I'm not sure if we made it through or not, but it looks like we did as we're on board there with Merrick Watchorn. Comes storming through there. Chad Tabala. Gary Wells back here in that 87. As that 8 and 44 go at it. Coming off the corner there down the backstretch. Here on lap number 12 up the 150. Merrick Watchorn out front. Brennan Gregg goes second. Tyler Farr there in third. Maurice Chameleon fourth. Gary Wells there in fifth. Heading down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front stretch they go. Everybody single file for the time being right now. Still way early in the race. Now a short track racing around Martinsville tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some bumpers being used here tonight. They're still watching Maurice Chameleon there in the 44. Sitting in fourth. Gary Wells there in fifth. Tyler Farr up 7 positions, now in third. Kendorian Davis has dropped 7 positions. That looks like the 44 at Maurice Chameleon. Going to look to see if he can get underneath Tyler Farr. Down there through the corner. Tyler Farr up there to the I side now. Working down the back stretch. Here comes that 87 of Wells. Getting around Tyler as well. Now they work down the front stretch. Rooster Roden gaining on the 94 there. As you're on board there with Tyler Farr and that number 94, hanging on to everything he can as they work on down through the back stretch here. In the corner, wait, sorry, that was coming through corner 1 and 2, down here through 3 and 4. Eight drivers really putting on a show here. Single file here tonight. 12 drivers showing up. Looking to gain more here off the corner. As they head on down through here, out of corner number 3. Back on to the front stretch, watching Rooster Roden and Tyler Farr. Gary Wells there for it. Maurice Chameleon there in third. Brennan Gregg second. Merrick Watchorn there in front. Currently running away with it here tonight. Down here off the corner he goes. RJ Buchanan having issues. There goes Tyler Farr up into the outside wall. We stay green here for the Cybercake 150. We got caution coming out. Cal Tabola back here getting it straightened out, but was sideways coming out of the corner. Out of two. I'll watch him coming here down the front stretch. He slides it on down around here and didn't end up losing it. Great job there by the 94 of Tyler Farr getting around the 8. Doesn't look like there's any damage, just lost it. But it stopped to get it straightened back out. Here they go down that back stretch here. Nobody coming in the pit yet. I'll take it back. Tavala, Davis, and Buchanan all came in the pit road. So the back three, who really have not much to lose. Now you see those drivers in yellow. Those are your playoff drivers. Greg and Stanley are the two you want to keep an eye on here tonight. Right now, Greg doing a great job. Stanley having some struggles. Stanley's currently back there in 7th. Lights go out. We're going to be going back green flag racing next time by. You're on board there with Tyler Farr. Right in front of him is the 95 of Stanley. Green flag out down here. Away they go in the corner number 1. Hang on to it. Everybody hits those brakes. Got to try to skate it on through turn 1 and 2. Back out onto the backstretch. Side by side back there in the pack at the side. The 95 of Stanley. And I didn't catch who he was beside. But here comes that 94 of Tyler Farr moving up through the pack. He gets around James Wirtz in the 3. The 85 or 87, sorry, of Gary Wells moving up through the field as well. Coming here off the corner. Lap 27 of 150 right now. They head on down through off the corner. The 01 of Rooster Roden up there in front. In about 3rd position. Merrick Watchord still leading the race as he's out front where he's been all night long. Brennan Gregg in 2nd. Rooster Roden, as we said, in 3rd. Maurice Camillion 4th. Tyler Farr there 5th. Down through the front stretch, down here into corner number 1 and 2. These drivers doing everything they can here tonight in the Cybercake 150. Here with the Cannonball eNASCAR iRacing Series. Now you see that 87 getting underneath the 3 of Wurtzma. So Gary Wells up to 7th. Now he sets the sights on the 55. Ben Bushnell. Now we're looking there at Jack Stanley. He's got company from the 5 of Condorian Davis. Down here around the track. Here comes that 8 on the top side of Davis. So Chad Tabala trying to gain back some spots that he lost after spinning out on top of the concrete. And this is the final here of the 10. So those drivers you see in red will not be lit next week at all. And we're going to move from that down to 4, I believe. Double checking that now. Caution is out for the 3rd time here tonight as Gary Wells brings out this caution. And we're looking here to see if we can come up with what our rounds are. So yeah, we're going to go from the round of 10 to the round of 6. And then round of 3. So next week starts the round of 6. Hey, drivers head on down around here. We're on the 3rd caution here tonight. Tyler Farr there 3rd. Brennan Greg Garrett there in front. Jack Stanley there in 7th. Test, test. We got anything yet? Hello, testing. Test, test. Got anything yet? We're under our fourth caution. Testing. Brad and Greg out front as your leader. We're under our fourth caution. Brad and Greg out front as your leader. All right, so it sounds like we got things situated here for the most part. That you guys can hear me. Lights are still on. Gonna get them lined back up here. All right, so it sounds like that you guys can hear me. Lights are still on. Gonna get them lined back up here. So here, all right. Let's see here. We probably go here. Down the backstretch they go. Hit on that back through here. All right, see if that works at all to bring us through here. Trying to make sure we got all right, well that didn't work. All right, so we're getting things situated here, making sure we got all of our sounds right. I don't know exactly what happened, but we're trying to get them all situated. All right, so here we go. Down here, out of the corner. And everybody takes it on down through here, out and about. And run down here out of the corner. So hopefully everybody hears me okay. Everybody heads on down through here, out of the corner. Green flag is out. Everything's looking good. If you're able to hear me now, that hopefully is good. As we head on down through here. Into the next corner. Down that back straightaway. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay now. I just see everybody's working great, working good here. Tyler Farr now out front with Brennan Gregg out there in second. Kendorian Davis here at lap 62. Slowly closing in to halfway. Maurice Chameleon. Whoa, hang on to it. The 44 is going around. Up there to the top side, Maurice Chameleon. We caught that one as it was happening. As I head on down through here, looking good. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay. If not, let us know. We'll get that fixed. Yeah, we've been having issues here with the mic. We think we got it figured out though, but unsure, so let us know. As you're watching down here, you're watching that 44 Maurice Chameleon up there on that high side. Come down, and I think it might have been a little tiny neck code there between him and Rooster. He got set up the racetrack there after the 8 got into him with Chad Tubala. I believe that was the 8, or was that the 87? It might have been the 87. Yeah, we'll take another quick look at it here. Come here out of the corner. You see there, that number 01 of Rooster down there on the bottom. Gets underneath. Here comes that 8. Yep, that was the 8. So I did have it right. Chad Tubala. Just nowhere for him to really go. Please, I know I wrote there in the comments that I've been having mic gremlins, so if you can hear us okay, let us know. Rooster Roden out front currently with Jack Stanley as Gary Wells, Chad Tubala, and R.J. Buchanan down there on pit road. As the 8 there, Chad Tubala is starting to roll his way off of pit road. Don't know if, well, he might have beat the pace car, but unsure as it goes around him. Here they go, off the corner. Down the back stretch they go, side by side there. Lined up, ready for the restart. 10 laps away from halfway. Playoffs going on here tonight. Rooster Roden as your current leader. Jack Stanley out there in second. James Wurtzmuth third. Now, and we got one into the outside wall. That's going to be the 91 of the 95, sorry. That's the 95 of Jack Stanley. Stanley struggling here at Martinsville tonight. And now he's got the 5 of Kendorian Davis coming down there to the inside, looking there. Cannot quite get it. As Stanley brings it down there in front. Merrick Watchorn brought it back up to third. He's wanting to get back up there to the lead. Brennan Gregg there in second. Running a great race here tonight for him. We're here at lap 68 down that back stretch. In the corner number 3 they go. Now we head up down through the back stretch, or front stretch rather, down here in the corner number 1. Everybody's making their way, doing a great job. They're side by side. Brett and Greg out there in front. As we were trying to say earlier, I don't know if I was talking or not, as I put there in the chat, we've been having a little bit of gremlins here at Flicker Farm TV. Hopefully we chased them away here tonight as we head on down here in the corner number 1 and 2. And here we go. Front to back, Brennan Greg now as your leader. Merrick Watchhorn there in second. Rooster ends up back in third. And head on back down here into corner number 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front stretch. Lap number 72 now on the board. For the Cyber Cake, 150 here tonight for the eNASCAR Cannonball iRacing Series. Out there, out front, Brennan Gregg, your leader. He's fighting for a spot to move on. He was tied for 6th spot moving in here tonight. He was tied with Stanley. Stanley's struggling, so he's back here in 10th, so that's going to separate them two. But it's all points driven, and the points race is tight here between the top drivers. Going into last week, we saw 4th place tied. This week, we got 6th place tied. Brian Gregg doing a great job finding his groove out there. Merrick Watchhorn there second. Rooster Roden there third. Tyler Farr there in 4th with Bushnell in 5th. Let us know who's your favorite driver, who you cheering on. Please help fill that tip jar tonight as well. If it's possible, it'll help us here at Flicker Farm TV. Oh no! Rooster Roden ends up down there around, right there in front of the middle of the pack. No caution, but he's stuck down there on the bottom side. Gets in reverse. Gets it rolling once again. No caution, but Rooster now back at the back in 10th position. Brennan Gregg rolls down here through turn 1 and 2. He's coming up there on Rooster Roden. I see Brennan Gregg in that Toyota certified used car vehicle. With Merrick Watchhorn there in the Twiggy Innovation. Kendorian Davis back here in 3rd. In that number 5, Exalta. Ben Bushnell there in the Husky, number 55. Here they go, down through corner number 3 and 4. Back around, back around 1 and 2, down the back stretch. Brett and Gregg through 3 and 4, back down that front stretch. We're on board there with Maurice Chameleon. Gary Wells and that W-sponsored machine. Hit off corner 2 down that back straightaway. There you saw that 3 of James Wertzmike working off a 2. That 87 of Gary Wells and that Chevrolet working down through the front stretch. And I find it interesting here tonight. Our field split between Toyotas and Chevrolets. There are absolutely no Fords in the field tonight. Now we're down here through turn number 3 and 4. You see that 87 there in 6th. Tyler Farr in 7th. And at number 94. Maurice Chameleon there in at 44. Looney Tunes Special. Hey, Tom and Jerry there. Sylvester and Tweety on the back. Gary Wells running that Dr. Pepper helmet here tonight. Jake Matsko, if you're ever watching my schemes, I think somebody stole your helmet. As much as you like Dr. Pepper, I think somebody stole your Dr. Pepper helmet here. Gary Wells up off the corner. Down here across the front stretch, down in the corner number 1. Still lined up there behind Maurice Chameleon. These drivers headed off down here into the back stretch in the corner number 3 once again. here at lap 85 of the 150 here tonight. Buchanan is in the pits. Tubala is out. Oh no, the 87 there of Gary Wells ends up hard into the outside wall. Unsure what happened here. We'll take a look at it. Now we go down in here. Look out. Yeah, he got a little loose and then up into that outside wall. Hey, drivers, hang around here and bring it back in. Kendorian Davis there in second. Brandon Gregg there out front. Merrick Watchorn, as you're on board with him, finishing his pit stop and back off of pit road he goes. And that number 91 out of Leesburg, Virginia. Rooster Roden back here in 7th. Short track racing at its best here tonight. I see them working here off the corner, working really well. Maurice Chameleon there, Al, and Benjamin Bushnell, Gary Wells. Gary Wells back here in the 87 out of Noblesville, Indiana. Maurice Chameleon out of D.C. Getting lined up, going back, green flag racing as they come down here in the corner number 1. Brandon Gregg, your leader here so far tonight. As they handle it back down through here, working really well. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay. Oh, down here in the corner number 3 and 4, back down that backstretch. Here comes James Wertzma. They're in the 5th position. We got Ben Bushnell out there in 4th, down that front straightaway. Okay, so that didn't work out the way I thought it would. Work here off the corner, up there against that outside wall. And goes the 55, Ben Bushnell. Lap 93 on the board as you got Merrick Watchorn back out there to the lead. Brandon Gregg here in second. Whoa, hang on to it. Rooster Roden once again getting a little loose. Out of corner number 4, back down here into corner number 1 and 2. Trying to keep that car going straight. At Merrick Watchorn out there in front. Looking there at Maurice Chameleon once again in that number 44. He tries to gain on Kendorian Davis, who's got running that number 5 Exalta machine that you're looking at right now. Looking there to the inside, up there to the outside though of Gamillion is Farr. In that number 94, Farr's getting a little bit of a run there to the outside. Now up the top of the speedway, here they come. Eric Watchorn out front, Brennan Gregg there second, Condorian Davis their third, Tyler Farr their fourth, Maurice Gamillion fifth, with Rooster Roden in sixth. There we go. Oh, hang on to it. Whoa, the 94 there of Tyler Farr sent it in really hard in the corner number 1 and 2. Bringing it back, or I'm sorry, through 3 and 4. Down here into 1 and 2. He's right there at the bumper of Gamillion. Whoa, and there goes the 5 of Condorian Davis up and around. As they work there off the corner, they're going to be under caution here at lap 100. Now we see here he's running third. And ends up a little tall going into the corner. And just ends up sliding it around. Great job holding the brakes. Making sure everybody can get around them on the bottom side. So down here into the next corner. You see the 5 there coming down pit road. Pulling into his pit spot. Down here into the next corner. Not quite in his pit box, but apparently they're going to let him slide. He gets that car back underway here. Merrick Watchorn there in front. Maurice Gamillion there second. Tyler Farr there third. Jake Stanley fourth. James Wertzma there fifth. Brandon Gregg sixth. Rooster Roden there seventh. Ben Bushnell 8th, Condorian Davis 9th, and Gary Wells in 10th. Well, it looks like Wells is out. Buchanan's sitting in the pits yet. All right, here we go. Down out of corner number 4. Here they come, coming to the line. Side by side, Merrick Watchorn out there in front. Maurice Gamillion there second. Here they go. Watchorn getting a great jump. There comes the 94. Tyler Farr down there to the inside. Here comes that 44. Maurice Gamillion can't quite get down there yet. Gets in line. Everybody's fighting for a spot back here toward the back. We're under 50 to go. I see them all battling out. Rooster leading that pack. There you see the 5 of Davis coming down there through the back stretch. To 55 there of Bushnell. And up above him is Jack Stanley in at 95. That Husky machine getting rolling down here through. Here comes Merrick Watchorn out front. Tyler Farr there second. Maurice Gamillion third. Brennan Gregg fourth. Here they go down in the corner number 1 and 2 once again. Working there onto the back stretch. Merrick Watchorn is your race leader. Up off the top. Watchorn's there. Taking it. Caution's back out. James Wertzma having issues. All right, here we go. As you see Wertzma there in at number 3. Heading bound here into corner number 3. Just sends it in a little hard. Puts that C4 sponsored motor, that C4 machine spinning around on that concrete. We've seen that a few times here tonight where drivers are losing it there on the concrete corners. Whether it be coming in or coming off. Hey, drivers know it's getting towards the end of the race. They're going to try to push a little harder. Now they're coming here off the corner. Merrick Watchorn as your leader. Tyler Farr there second. That Twiggy-sponsored motorsport machine looking great out front. On pole is where he started. Out there is Merrick Watchorn. Here at lap 108 of the 150. Down through the back stretch. I'm sorry, now down through the front stretch, rather. Lap 109 of the 150. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the race here at Flicker Farm TV on the pole. If you're curious what that little glass is down there, that is a tip jar. We'd really like to find out if we can get that thing operating okay for our race that we got coming up in September. Hopefully we can find drivers to really go after it. September 20th, we're looking at putting on a suicide awareness race. Green flag will drop at 8 o'clock. It is a full truck race length. We're calling it the Race to Stop Suicide 250. Hey, drivers here at Cannonball tonight are racing here down in the corner number something onto the straightaway. That's going to be the backstretch. As they come out of 2 down into 3 and 4. Lap 111 of the 150 on the board right now. I see WeatherTech there on that Red Bull machine, driven by Tyler Farr, that number 94. There in third is Brennan Gregg in that number 27. Done very well so far for himself tonight. As we said, you're on board with Tyler Farr, working there off the corner. There's that 5 of Kendorian Davis. And Gregg's looking to make a pass for second. They work down here into the corner. Gregg couldn't quite get there, but here comes Gamillion. Back there in that 44, Rooster right there behind him. Lap number 114 now on the board as they come down through 1 and 2. Back out onto that backstretch. Everybody's single file for the time being. We're here at Martinsville tonight for the Cannonball Series. Cyber Cake 150 tonight. Eight driver really working hard here. Off the corner they go. Up there against that outside wall. Down that backstretch. Trying to hang on to it. Merrick Watchorn up there in front. Tyler Farr there in second. Brennan Gregg in third. Maurice Camillion fourth. Rooster Roden fifth with Kendorian Davis there in sixth. 116 out of 150 here on the board. Soon to be completed. They work through 3 and 4. You're looking there at Kendorian Davis back here in 6. Right behind him is Ben Bushnell in that 55. Buchanan gonna be out of the points race here after tonight. They work down here into corner number 3 and 4. Back around onto the front straightaway. You're still watching Dorian Davis. Out there in front of him is Brennan Gregg and Maurice Chameleon, along with Rooster Roden. Rooster Roden and Chameleon trying to battle it out there for that 4th and 5th spot. Not really seeing anything happening right now as we have Brennan Gregg up here in 3rd. Still at the back bumper of Tyler Farr. And they work here off the corner of 3 and 4 across the stripe down into corner number 1. Heading off here, lap 120. When we hit lap 125, that'll be the cue to 26 to go. So just a few laps to go here. We're down to 30 to go. Off of 2 down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Brennan Gregg getting there to the inside. Can he make the pass happen down here through the front stretch? Looking to the inside into corner number 1. Brennan Gregg's there. The 94 is going to hang on to it as those cars don't allow. Oh, and he gets a little tap there. He gets shoved up the racetrack there. I don't think it was a net. It was meant to be that, as it looked like it was a little bit of net code there between the 27 and the 94. And Brennan Gregg now up to 2nd as he rolls down here into corner number 1 and 2, trying to chase down the leader of Merrick Watchorn. I just don't know if he's got what it takes to chase him down. Brennan Gregg out of Vancouver, Washington, sitting in 2nd right now for that Toyota Certified Used Vehicles sponsored machine down through the front stretch. You got 2 Toyotas out there in front, then followed by 2 Chevrolets. And then Rooster Roden and his Toyota will round out the top 5. We're here on lap 124 down here across into corner number 3 and 4, back out onto the front stretch. Now if you weren't paying attention, you might have caught the glowing rotors going down there. There's some there on the front brakes of the 27 of Brennan Gregg. He gets them brakes hard down here into corner number 3 and 4. Coming out, it's going to be 25 laps to go as they work down here into the front stretch. Into corner number 3 and 4. There you see Dorian Davis there in 5th. 55 of Bushnell there in 7th. Davis there in 6th. Roden's in 5th. These drivers keep it clean. This is going to finish out here pretty quickly. I work down here in the corner number 3 and 4. I'm sorry, no, 1 and 2. Get turned around here in that Husky machine is Ben Bushnell, number 55, rolling down in the corner number 3 and 4, back around here to the front stretch. 23 laps to go. Merrick Watchorn is leading this race. He comes down here in the corner number 3 and 4 right now. I think if we pull up the map, you're going to see them spread out clear across everything. There you see it. Merrick Watchorn in that number 91 down here in the corner number 3. The 95 there of Jack Stanley hanging on back there as he enters through 1 and 2. Brennan Gregg back here in 2nd. I don't know if he's going to have what it takes to get up there. Tyler Farr has fallen back here into that 3rd spot. Maurice Chameleon and Rooster Roden battling it out. That'll be for the 4th position. Rooster Roden end up into the outside wall there. A little bit coming out of 2. He works down here into 3 and 4 once again. 20 laps to go as they work down there through 1 and 2. Brennan Gregg there in 2nd. Tyler Farr back here 3rd. Maurice Chameleon 4th. Rooster Roden 5th. That is the closest battle we have going on the racetrack right now. Dorian Davis there 6th. Ben Bushnell 7th. James Wertzma there in 8th. Jack Stanley 9th. Gary Wells laps down and out. Chad Tabala also out. RJ Buchanan and Matt as well be out as he's sitting down there on pit road. watching the ending of this race. Merrick Watchorn out front. Brennan Gregg trying to get down there to chase him down. As they dive into corner number 1 and 2. Roden and Gamillion still battling it out for 4th and 5th. Parr, not a playoff driver, but up here with them. As see Gamillion there in 4th. Rooster Roden there in 5th. They head on down here in the corner number 3, 3 and 4 for wait, maybe I was wrong. Now they're coming through 3 and 4. I was wrong. Now they head on off. Doing what they can here down through 1 and 2. Merrick Watchorn and Brennan Gregg coming off of 4. Down that front stretch. 15 laps to go. And closing here at Michigan. Watchorn's there out front. Brennan Gregg's there 2nd. Tyler Parr there 3rd. Gamillion there in 4th. $14 laps to go. Merrick Watchorn working his way through 3 and 4. With Brennan Gregg there behind him. Had to catch it coming there out of the corner. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. But he's there. He's going to try to battle, I think, for the lead here before this is all said and done. But we'll see. Brennan Gregg's been quick. But so has Watchorn. It's going to be a great battle here as the laps wind down. Rooster Roden and Gamillion, I'm not sure if they're going to end up battling it out or not. And we see the battle there between Merrick Watchorn and Brennan Gregg heating up. That's 1st and 2nd position. Gregg backed off a little bit there through the corner. As they work off, here they go. 11 laps to go here at Martinsville. Watchorn off the 2, down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Maurice Gamillion going for it. Up there on the high side is Rooster Roden. Gamillion's got to try to make that inside work. Cannot quite do it. Great run there by Rooster Roden to gain that spot there. Up to 4th he goes. He made that pass on the outside, making it look easy. Brennan Gregg back here hanging on in 2nd. Tyler Parr up there in up 7 spots, sitting 3rd. They head on through here. You see her looking at Brennan Gregg running 2nd, trying to get him down here into corner number 3 and 4. Merrick Watchorn up there in front. Tyler Parr there in 3rd. Rooster Roden in 4th. Maurice Gamillion there 5th. Condorian Davis there in 6th with Ben Bushnell there 7th. Hanging here off the corner. Oh, and up into the outside wall goes the 95 with Jack Stanley, who is now a lap down here late in this run. 6 laps, now 5 laps to go for Merrick Watchorn and Brennan Gregg, who are running 1-2. Tyler Parr here in 3rd. Rooster Roden got that pass done on Maurice Gamillion, and Maurice Gamillion's falling back here. Looks like Dorian Davis might get there and possibly try to make a run at him. And that'll drop Gamillion back another spot. Here coming down. Oh, man, what a tight, hard run there into the corner. That's going to put Condorian Davis up there into 5th. dropping Chameleon back into 6th. Points mean everything here at Cannonball. Unlike the new style of racing where it's a win and you're in, that is not how it is here. Points are everything. So if you're wanting to make it into the next round, you've got to make sure those points stand out. That's why we said we're pretty sure Buchanan's not making it in. And I'm not seeing any of the others in red. Wurtzma's back there in 8th. I don't know if he's going to make it in. I doubt it. There's nobody in yellow behind him. We only had 3 red drivers here tonight. Merrick Watchorn there in the 91. Brennan Gregg there 2nd. Tyler Farr in 3rd. Rooster Roden 4th. Kadorian Davis there 5th. Maurice Chameleon 6th. White flag is out for Merrick Watchorn. Here comes the checkered flag now as he rounds out of corner number 4. And he gets the win here tonight. Great job there by Merrick Watchorn. Brennan Gregg there 2nd. Tyler Farr there in 3rd. Rooster Roden 4th. Kadorian Davis there 5th. Maurice Chameleon 6th. And we'll look to see what our finishing order will be. Here we are. Merrick Watchorn there in front. Brennan Gregg there 2nd. Tyler Farr 3rd. Rooster Roden 4th. Kadorian Davis there 5th. Maurice Chameleon 6th. Ben Bushnell in 7th. James Wurtzma there 8th. Jack Staley in 9th. Gary Wells in 10th. Chad Tabala there in 11th. R.J. Buchanan in 12th. So that is your grid here or your finishing order here tonight for the Cybercake 150. See if we can get with some of these drivers here. Merrick Watchorn burns it down on the front stretch. That I'm not sure there, Pete. But he's been putting on a show here at Cannonball on Fridays. And we'll see here what the, see if we can get a hold of these drivers. Give me a moment and I get the interview started here. Tyler Farr getting 3rd here tonight. Can I get with Tyler Farr? No, I'm not. Oh, wait. There's Tyler. Good evening, Tyler. How's it going? Going good? You know, man, I'm struggling on hearing things here apparently tonight.
Hold on.
There we are. No, I've been having some mic issues and it's been giving me problems. So, but
yeah, we ran pretty good there.
Yeah, you had a great run going. Unfortunately, you couldn't quite get up there to the front two. but you did a great job here tonight, keeping that car in one piece, getting it up there into third.
I think we pretty much just wore it out trying to chase down the back. We thought we were going to get them, but once they got hot, I just got them straight.
I could see it being tough there.
Yeah, I was struggling with the whole race. I kept going back and forth in the front 3 times, and then moving to the front, moving it back, moving to the front, moving it back, and I never get it right. Like, I got to figure that out.
So, but great job tonight getting everything situated and rolling well.
We'll take it third. We'll never complain about that.
You got sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank here tonight? Alrighty, so that'll wrap it up here tonight for Tyler Farr. Great job there tonight, getting up there into third place. What do you think is going to be in store for you next week?
Another week, if we can, I guess we'll see if we're around next time. Why not?
Well, I know you're not in the points race this year. Is that because you joined too late to get into the points race?
Yeah, that's it. We just joined, so I don't know. Well, pretty much when the playoffs started, but we're just getting back into it. So we'll race the end of this year and see what next year has to happen.
So, well, you did a great job, like I said, getting out there, and we'll see what's in store for you as we finish out this season and we get into next year's season, I guess. We'll see how well you... Let's see if you can get into the points race next year. Yeah, you averaged up a great night there, Tyler, and we'll catch you next week. All right, so that was Tyler Farr, and now we'll get with Brennan Gregg. Good evening there, Brennan. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. One step lower on the podium than I wanted to be, but I guess that's just how it went this time.
Well, I mean, it wasn't easy to get where you were at either, I don't think.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a struggle the first, I guess, couple laps of that last run just to try and clear traffic and catch up to everyone. New tires definitely helped a little bit with that, but yeah, overall, just needed a little bit more pace to get up with Merrick fully.
Well, great job and getting to that. I know you were on the cut line. I think you're in now.
Awesome. Yeah, I was hoping I could just get a good finish, get in front of whoever I needed to finish in front of, and see where that got me in the point standings here. After they got me through, I think.
Well, coming into tonight, you and Stanley were tied for that cut line.
Yeah, so if I think I could beat him on track, so that would hopefully get me through.
Well, you finished here in second. Stanley finished back in ninth.
Yep, that'll do it.
So, I would say I'm pretty confident you're into the next round.
Yeah, sounds great to me. I'm not going to be here to finish out the playoffs, but yeah, happy at least made it to the, I think it's top 6, top 8 now.
Well, congrats there, and we'll see how well the rest of the playoffs goes. We start race number 1 or round 6 next week.
Yeah, looking forward to watching it on the broadcast.
Well, you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that second place here tonight?
Well, pretty much the same as last week. Got to thank Merrick for putting this league on, doing all he does to keep this thing going. And then got to thank you for taking time out of your day to broadcast all this. I definitely appreciate it. Get to watch back all the great racing that we get to do. So, yeah, big thanks to you too.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and we'll see how well things go going forward here for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, have yourself a great night and enjoy second place.
Thanks.
All right, that was Brennan Gregg there out front. Now we'll get with our winner here tonight. Merrick Watchorn. Good evening, Merrick. How's it going?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing good? That's great. Good to hear. Well, I know there's some interesting comments going through the stream right now.
Oh, yeah?
Some of them say they recognize your name from running at Roughneck.
Yeah, I am that 91.
Well, you did a great job here tonight getting the win here at Martinsville. You're holding the points lead right now. What do you think's in store for you as the rounds tick down here?
Well, with the end of this round, right, we finished the round of 10. We go on now to the round of 6.
Correct.
So we only add points from here on out. So think of it like the original chase format with the elimination round and the wild card slots in place. So I'm taking 6 at the end of this race. This sets us up pretty well for the next round. Kind of gives us a buffer that we've been looking for. Since the first race of this round of 10 at Atlanta and my essential mess up on pit road, I just have not had a good run in the last 3 weeks. Between Atlanta, my own mess up on pit road, Dover making the wrong call on brake bias, and then Michigan making the wrong call on pit strategy. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. Truly, honestly, my fault, and I really wanted to come into Martinsville and, like, you know, kind of flex my muscles and say, hey, I'm still in this, and still, you know, your championship leader. I won the regular season for a reason, you know, so I need to set the tone, and tonight we set the tone finally. It's been almost 2.5 months since we've actually won a race, so it feels really good to be back up on top, but I had to earn it with Brendan right behind me on fresher tires than I was.
Yeah, you did a great job tonight getting up there, keeping that. And it was a battle, too. I mean, I heard a couple times, I didn't know if your strategy was going to play out or not.
It comes down to, I knew the tires. I felt very comfortable on old tires. It definitely felt better to me. The fresh tires, it felt great, but once you got past that lap 15, those tires just kind of went away, and you just had to figure out how to stabilize and make the car feel good for you to turn in the center. And I was really getting off that center really, really well, so I didn't really have a lot of issues to work through. But with Brendan on those fresh tires, I'm like, all right, I just need to maintain, do what I need to do best, and just get off the runoff, because the runoff was more important than the entry. Just unfortunately, these cars just bottom out, and you know the back end will step out so much. So you're babying the throttle and the brakes just to get the car to rotate, and then try to apply as much throttle down to get the runoff to get away from the guy behind you. And with the brake bias, you just had to find that happy spot. And today we delivered, and I'm very happy with the Twiggy 91 machine tonight. So hey, can't complain.
I wouldn't say you could. I mean, you took that win very well here tonight. Like I said, we were wondering if Brett and Greg was going to be able to give you a run there at the end, but it just ended up he fell off a little bit there at the end.
Yeah, no, it just, like I said, it was going to come down to who had the marbles to get back up there and maintain. I knew once I got the lead, I just had to maintain the position long enough just to keep the car behind, and you know we delivered, and that's all that matters really at Martinsville.
Alrighty, well you got sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my admins, the league itself, the guys who come out week in and week out, even if they're not in the playoffs. I appreciate them kindly. Give a shout out to you, of course, for coming back on board with us and broadcasting the Cannonball iRacing series. I really do appreciate that. Give a shout out to Twiggy QSA, my family, and love of my life, Melanie. Besides that, it's just Yeah, I'm ready for the next couple of weeks. Trying to go be a 4-time champion. We just gotta keep our heads clear, stay out of trouble, and do what we do best, and just try to increase the gap. So, thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you to my admins and the mods that helped me run the league and the Discord itself. I couldn't do it without them. And let's go. We got next week, and I believe next week is 1 minute. We go to Chicagoland next week, so 120 laps during the day. It's going to be a fun race, so hopefully the round of 6 is going to be just as exciting as the round of 10.
You're going to Chicagoland for the Bears 180.
Yeah.
So, should be a good one to watch then.
It should be. I'm hoping that we have a fantastic race and keep things clean.
Alrighty, well, great job here tonight. And we'll see how well it goes here as the playoffs continue.
Thanks, sir.
Great job tonight. Enjoy that victory. All right, so that was Merrick Watcher, and hopefully everybody here heard everything there through the interviews. As I said, here at Flickerprom TV, we've been having a little bit of mic gremlin issue where the mic's been wanting to cut out, but hopefully we got that figured out and kicked that pesky old gremlin away. And thank you so much for coming out to watch, and we'll catch you Sunday night. We take on the Freedom Motorsport Alliance Xfinity Series, brought to you by Fleeger Farm Gaming. We had it there in the next week of racing. Thank you all so much for watching, and please don't forget, if you like what you see, please subscribe, get notified, get to see more. And starting now, we're going to have a tip jar down there in the right-hand corner of our stream, so you can go and add tips to the broadcast if you would like, if we're doing a good job, and that'll go in handy. Trying to make sure that we keep up to date with our cameras and everything. Anything we get will be put back into bringing a better stream for everybody. For instance, I don't know if you all were here for the Freedom Motorsport Alliance Monza race. I hated the camera work there, so definitely that'll probably be the first track or a track just like it to get fresh camera work, so we can get stands and stuff set where we need them. So congrats there again to our winner here tonight, Merrick Watchorn, Brennan Gregg for second, Tyler Farr for third. And we'll catch you all again another time. Thank you all for watching.
I don't want